Welcome back to this series by the Catholic Advance Movement on the 7 Basic Points. This program of interior life passed on to us by our founder, Father Pablo Menor, to help us grow in growing in uninterrupted holiness at all times and in all situations. In this video, we are going to be focusing on the third basic point, an ardent love for Jesus Christ in the Eucharist. If God has commanded us to be holy as He is holy, He has also made this possible by giving us Jesus, God with us, truly present, body, blood, soul, and divinity in the Eucharist. St. Peter Julian Amard, one of those great apostles of the Eucharist, said this about the Eucharist. The Eucharist is a supreme proof of the love of Jesus. After this, there is nothing more but heaven. And this basic point entails 3 practices: participation at Holy Mass, reception of Holy Communion, and adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. And the truth is, those words and experiences of the saints and holy ones, they sound beautiful and amazing. But we know that the reality is, we might not always feel those things. But does that mean that we don't have an ardent love for Jesus Christ in the Eucharist? Of course not. Because holiness and love are not measured by our feelings when we're at Mass, when we receive communion, when we adore Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, but by the importance we choose to place on them in our daily lives. So if we want to know how strong is my love for Jesus in the Eucharist, I can ask myself these questions. How well do I prepare myself for Mass, for receiving spiritual or sacramental communion, for being before His presence in the Eucharist and adoration? How do I show Jesus my gratitude for this great gift? How well do I prepare myself for Holy Communion by going frequently to the sacrament of confession? And how much of a priority do I place in my daily life on going to daily Mass, making a visit to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, and receiving communion? After evaluating how strong is my love now for Jesus Christ in the Eucharist, we always want to seek that greater holiness. How can we grow in our love for Jesus Christ in the Eucharist? I suggest this practice. Every time you start your prayer, make acts of faith, hope, and love for Jesus Christ's presence in the Eucharist. Unfortunately, very tragically, we know that only 30% of Catholics believe that it really is Jesus present in the Eucharist. Well, we want to be those ones who can console the heart of Jesus with our faith in His presence by asking God to increase our faith ever more, to believe that it really is Him, that He is faithful to His words. We can ask Jesus also to increase our hope that He really does fulfill His promises, that He is with us until the end of the age present in the Eucharist, that He really does save us, renew His saving work for us at every Mass, and at Holy Communion, that He really does sanctify us in our reception of Him in the Eucharist. And finally, we want to ask Him to increase our love, to help us become stronger in making Him a greater priority, to love Him more in the Eucharist, especially by going to daily Mass when we can, receiving Holy Communion at least during the Easter season, and especially on First Fridays, and by going to Holy Hour on Thursdays. I also invite you to learn something new about the Eucharist every day. There's so much to learn, and the more we know about something, the more we can love it. So let's learn more and more about the Eucharist so we can love Him more. You can look for scripture passages about the Eucharist. You can also learn about the Eucharistic miracles and the scientific proof there are of the true presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. You can also look for a great book about Jesus Christ in the Eucharist. Always seek new ways to learn more about the Eucharist in order to love Him more. In the Eucharist, Jesus gives everything to us. He's holding nothing back. He's waiting for us. Let's not keep Him waiting. Let's console His heart with our faith, and let's console Him with our hope, and let's return that love which has loved us so much. Let's prepare ourselves really well for every Holy Mass, for every Holy Communion, for every visit we make to the Blessed Sacrament. And even when we're not able to be physically close to Jesus in the Eucharist, let's not let that stop us from learning more about Him and from loving Him even more. We want to show Him our gratitude for His presence.